Hi, I'm Tiffany Teal, mortgage advisor with American Dream Mortgage, and today I am with Daniel Carroll, real estate agent with Synergy Realty Group. How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying the day. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous out here, and I'm just staying safe from the virus. Hope you and
Ah,
everyone else watching is doing the same thing.
which is why we come to you via Zoom due to COVID. um, so yeah, it looks like you're kind of outside. That's
I
great.
am.
Catching the rays.
I am.
Um,
Beautiful.
Today we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts for buyers while getting prepared to buy a home and during a transaction. What are some do's that a buyer should really do to get prepared to buy a home?
Well, I have three big do's that people should do, that I would advise people to do. The first one is ask yourself why you're buying a home, actually. Because,
Yes.
yes, Colorado Springs being a military town, and there are many reasons why people might only stay for just a year or two.
Mhm.
And there's what I call a break-even point, before which it's actually cheaper to rent a place to live. Once you get past that point, you of course accumulate equity. There's the word, at a very rapid pace. But before that, with the maintenance costs and everything of owning a home, it is actually cheaper to rent.
Okay,
And
good to know.
what that break-even point is going to depend based on, how expensive the house you're looking at is, what the home price, what you're paying every month in rent, what you can afford to put down as down payments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I have a calculator that I can adjust all of that up and down. It makes a very conservative guess, deliberately very conservative, so that Tiffany can outperform what the calculator can do, basically with her hand tied behind her back. But yeah, I've never seen, in my experience, I've never seen one of these analyses have a break-even point that's sooner than 2.5 years. So I would say a good rule of thumb, a good unofficial rule of thumb, is that if you're going to be here for 2 years of less or less, it's probably best to just rent. You probably save more money that way. But once you've
Okay.
settled in and you're going to be here for a little while, do number 2 is to go see Tiffany or your bank's mortgage originator. And make sure you get a pre-approval, not a pre-qual. That's basically just a pinky swear on the bank's part that, yeah, we're sure you'll qualify for whatever you want. Have something a little bit more concrete than that, please. Have Tiffany look at your employment and your credit and give you an educated estimate as to what you can afford in your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And the third do, once you know what you can afford, is to set your expectations. Because in every price range, there's going to be variance. There's going to be houses that are better and worse than the next one and the next one and the next one. And there's a bunch of other people who are still going to be looking at those same houses because things are slowing down a little bit because of COVID. The days on market have been going up, but the average price of a home in Colorado Springs right now at this moment is about $400,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So once you've got your price set, you need to remember there's going to be competition for each of those places, no matter what state it's in. You're not going to find your perfect 10 out of 10 house. It's possible, but even the house you have built for yourself that you designed yourself is going to have some issues. So look for the 9.5 out of 10, the 9 out of 10, and even the 8 out of 10. And once you've determined those, I can get offers in on your behalf a lot quicker. And that can be to your benefit. You don't know when that best offer is going to be submitted to the listing agent. You just don't know.
Okay, so
speed is better.
Your 3 would be to, 1, maybe get a cost analysis of rent versus owning, if you hear less than or 2 years or less. Okay. Number 2, get a pre-approval letter by your lender. Number 3 would to write down maybe your non-negotiable items that you want to find in a home and things that you possibly could live with, because not every home is perfect, and even the house.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Those are some, and that also helps your real estate agent find the perfect-ish house.
Ish house. I like that.
And I'll just add, just to definitely research the area that you're looking at living, or if you maybe have more than one area in mind, do your own research online or the public library. And you can find all of those schools and neighborhood and amenities and things like that online. Real estate agents cannot legally sway you one way or the other, versus, you know, schools or this neighborhood for one reason or another. They have to be biased. They cannot be biased. Is that right? They can't tell you.
We have everyone has their own unconscious bias that.
There you go.
We try to tamp it down, obviously, but you really can't eliminate your own unconscious bias completely. And if I were to give you advice like that,
no,
you would figure out what I think real fast.
Best to keep it.
Yes.
Okay, so what are some do's for buyers during or while under contract?
The best 2 do's while under contract, well, the best few, I should say. First and foremost is to have a home inspector look at the place while it's still under contract before you close. A home inspector will be able to see things that aren't up to code, and will be able to determine if it's well built and good, and if it has good bones, if it's got rot or flooding issues or things that you want to avoid or have dealt with before you close.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's the biggest do. Make sure that you're not inadvertently buying a money sink. The second do is, when you're working with me, I'm going to be sending you documents that I expect you to read. Please don't do the thing where I send you like the title commitment or an amendment to the contract, and you just instantly hit the E sign. You don't do that, please. Take the time to read it. If I send it to you and it pops back in my inbox that you've signed it within 15 seconds, I'll know that I need to give you a call and talk a few things out with you. And the third biggest do is, and Tiffany can talk about this more, it's a little more in her wheelhouse than mine, but the biggest thing is, don't change your situation, your financial situation, as much as you can. Don't change jobs, don't lose your job, and don't go buying things like furniture or cars on credit. that will significantly change what you're approved for, because it changes your debt.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good don't. So recap those dues under contract. Do read all the real estate documentation that you forward them for signature.
Mhm.
Definitely information in there, and could also help you throughout the transaction if you find yourself in one of these examples listed in, say, the sales contract.
Mhm.
And it spells out how to go about, handling that. And two would be to get a whole house inspection, a third party
Yes.
bias inspection of the home. You definitely learn a lot while you're with the home inspection, and be able to make the right choices, whether to go through with the purchase of the home or ask for repairs or other compensation on those repairs that you might not be able to live with, or safety issues, and go from there. So don'ts, so things that individuals or buyers you don't want them to do while getting prepared to buy a home. What should they not do?
Well, while getting prepared to buy a home. Well, inverting my first do, don't buy a home just frivolously.
Mm-hmm.
Put some thought into it. Get an analysis of renting versus buying done. We want you to come out of this richer and with a place to stay.
Yeah.
So,
It's not something that maybe you just do on a whim.
Yeah.
You talk to professionals to help
Mhm.
make. It is the biggest investment that individuals make, usually in their lifetime. Houses are more expensive than majority of automobiles, so it is your greatest investment. And it is an investment because it can appreciate and give you equity, and you'll could make money on
Yes.
real estate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my biggest don't while you're getting ready.
Okay.
And like we said, while you're under contract, don't do things that Tiffany would call the debt to income ratio. Don't go buying a house full of premium furniture. Don't buy that.
And put it on credit.
Yeah.
Or use your
Cash is
down
one thing,
payment to
but
buy it.
don't charge a whole bunch of furniture to your credit card. And don't buy that brand new, what's the biggest and most expensive SUV on the market right now? Probably something from Lexus. Don't buy that big, luxurious Lexus SUV on credit. You can afford to pay cash. That's a different discussion.
Yeah. I would say don'ts while getting prepared. If you're self-employed, talk to a lender about your wants, your dreams, your goal about buying a home. If you are self-employed, talk to them, and there are a couple of options. You'll want to note on your tax returns, because lenders use the number after you have deducted all your business expenses. If you're self-employed, on your Schedule C. And then, or if they have a special program where they are able to use your deposits in your last 12 months of bank statements, and use a portion of those deposits, because not one business has zero overhead. But so getting prepared like that, maybe credit wise, you want to take a look at your credit and look at and make sure that everything is peachy there. if you need help with that, we both can recommend individuals that can help with credit. And saving for a down payment or closing costs. Everyone forgets the closing costs and prepaids. Now, closing costs are those costs that the lender may charge to do the loan. Me personally, I only have 2. And then also title company, title insurance, endorsements, your protection letter, your settlement closing fee, you know, to record everything. Also, the county and the state would like to get a cut of your transaction. So there's a little bit of transfer tax and recording mortgage and deeds and things like that. And of course, your prepaids, homeowners insurance, and taxes. So definitely talk to a professional in regards to getting prepared so that you know all the ins and outs and everything about buying a home. It's better to be informed than not informed while you're going into the transaction. We can't stress enough the don't under contract. Don't quit your job. Don't buy the expensive car on your credit. Lenders also have a requirement as far as months of reserves. It depends on your financial situation. You might have to have that savings and not use it. So double check with your lender before you go do any extravagant things like that. And yeah, so anything else you can think of, Daniel?
Those are my big ones. I can't.
Yeah.
No, those are the biggest things.
Yeah.
Cover those. Probably going to be good.
All right. Well, if you are thinking of buying a home or even investment property, Daniel does help with investors. His contact info below, and you can give him a call and pick his brain about that. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you, Tiffany. It's been fun.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Stay safe.